I wanted to title this video of Riding with God, Trials. And a lot of people may avoid trials. They hurt, they're tough, no one likes them. But I want to refer to James chapter 1 when he writes, "Consider trials pure joy." And he further talks about it develops perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work so that you are lacking nothing. Well, I read that and I think about that. I don't know about anybody else, but I would love to not lack anything, to be so well prepared and so encouraged and so built up that I'm not lacking anything to accomplish whatever is in front of me, to accomplish something for the Lord, for my family, for my career, for my friends, whatever it may be, ministry. But I mean, think about that. Well, how do you get to a higher level? Well, you have to do trial and error. I mean, no athlete, no musician just becomes incredibly talented, etc. I mean, they have talent, but they don't get to that point of excelling unless they have practice and have perseverance and go through a lot of trials and errors, and a lot of failures and successes. But those all build you up so you can reach that higher bar, that level of excellence. Well, what about that in our walk in faith? What if trials accomplish something greater than where we are right now? I have a story I would share. I like to share, kind of demonstrate this. In my life, God has audibly talked to me maybe a handful of times. Sometimes it was like a loving father, sometimes it was like a coach. But most often, he speaks to me to these images. I get, it's almost like a download. I have this whole perception, this whole concept in a moment. For you who aren't too young, maybe you can remember the movie Matrix, when Keanu Reeves is in the chair, he's plugged in, and Morpheus is teaching him, training him, and all of a sudden Neo goes, I know Kung Fu, because they just downloaded a program. I know Kung Fu. It's kind of like that. Instantly I got this image and this almost like a memory, whole concept. Well, when I received this one particular day, was driving on my way to work. For many years, there's this farm of poplar trees. They grow very quickly. They're mostly harvested for paper. I think they grow like a foot a month, something like that. So anyway, this poplar tree has been there for several years, and we just went through a severe windstorm. And as I was going past this tree farm, I realized that they were all broken. They were all knocked down. They looked like a pile of toothpicks. They were just broken and scattered everywhere. None were standing in the middle. None. But what was interesting that caught my attention was the outside, the rim of the farm, the trees were standing. That's when I got this download from God, kind of explaining the concept of trials. What I received was all these trees on the outside, over the years of growing, received some wind and some stress and trials, and they bend and maybe broke a little bit, but healed and got stronger in those joints. And through those small trials, through those small tests, they got stronger and stronger. But all the trees in the middle never had to persevere. They never had to be tested because they were protected by the outside trees. They never experienced a gust of wind. They never experienced any kind of hardship. And then when the big storm, the devastating storm comes in, they couldn't last. They couldn't stand because they couldn't stand the test. But the outside ones who did persevered through those smaller trials were built up and strengthened to the point to endure that really big, devastating test. And I think that's very much like our walk in life and our walk in faith is we endure small trials. And that's what James is talking about. Consider it pure joy, because those trials will build up and encourage you and strengthen you, develop your perseverance, so when the big trial, the big test, the one that could destroy you comes, you can stand. So what if we think about it that way? Instead of complaining or being worried or having anxiety about the trials we're going through, what if you look at it as an opportunity of what God has in mind to do with this moment? To develop your character, to reveal who you are as a man, as a woman, your walk in life with God, your gifts, what He has in mind for you. Those all are building up, and for the enemy will come at you. And he won't have a foothold. He won't be able to destroy you if we allow God's trials to build us up. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope the story was relatable. And so the next time you go through a trial, consider it joy and be open to some prayer and see what God has in mind for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video of Riding with God. Take care.